Hello, good people. Welcome again to the Cancer and Comedy Podcast. This indeed is the podcast where we look to offer cancer impacted people and other people facing adversity to help them to have a message to help them to cope with hope and humor. We have a great guest with us today who helps us to do just that, cope with hope and humor. Cathy Nesbitt is a health and wellness advocate, and she is dedicated to promoting joy and vitality through laughter and energy techniques. And she is a specialist in laughter yoga. She teaches that. She was appointed a laughter ambassador by the founder of laughter yoga, Dr. Madan Kataria. She uses various other modalities to help people out of stress and into joy. She believes that when we feel good, we do good, and she inspires others to lead a more joyful and fulfilling life. You can find her at her website, cathysclub.com. Cathy Nesbitt, welcome to our conversation today.
Thank you, Brad. I'm excited to be here.
Awesome. Well, it is good to have you with us during Cancer and Comedy. And been looking at your website, and we had a great conversation in preparation for this. And learned a few things about you. And one of the things we kind of like to do sometimes is kind of set the context of kind of what led someone to do something like laughter yoga, that kind of thing. So I know you shared with me a bit that one of the things that kind of led you in this pathway was a tragic time with your stepfather passing away, and you were a young woman at the time. So tell me that story a little bit and what happened there and how that kind of led you in the pathway to practice laughter yoga now.
Yeah, so I was 21, and I loved my stepfather. He was like the father I didn't have. Oops, that's not very nice. God rest my real father.
That's all right. That's all right.
And you know, it's funny because people say you marry somebody like your dad, like women marry someone like their dad. I married someone like my stepdad.
Okay.
Yeah.
What was his name?
Mike.
Mike.
Yeah, and he was beautiful. He was so caring. Everybody loved him. He would do anything for anybody. He was the coach of my baseball team.
Right.
We would go every Sunday and play racquetball or squash, and then we'd go for gelato afterwards.
Okay.
And I decided I wanted to go and live in France to learn French. And when he was driving me to the airport, he was like, "Oh, it's not going to be the same when you come back." And I said, "Of course it will. We've got this beautiful relationship now." And it's like he knew something. It's like he kind of knew. I don't know. When I came back a year later, he had brain cancer.
Oh my goodness. Okay. So
he wasn't the same.
Things had changed health-wise with him. And so how did losing him and that whole drama and trauma, how did that navigate eventually to finding laughter as a way to deal with this? How did you navigate that?
Yeah. So when with Mike's passing, I'm not sure why, but I associated his passing with work. And I said, I'm never going to stay in a job that doesn't serve me, because we never know when our time is up. We never know when we're going to die. And that's true for everybody. And that's still true. Of course it is. And so I never stayed in a job that didn't serve me. And as soon as I got bored or something happened at work, I would quit my job and get another job. So I really honored his passing with living a life with integrity and doing what I wanted to do. And then I started a worm business. Like laughter yoga didn't come.
Yeah. We'll get into that in a minute here, but that's kind of an odd juxtaposition there. Worms and cancer and laughter. My goodness. Wow.
Right. It really is. But I think when you're living your life with intention, when you lose somebody early on in your life, it marks you.
Yeah.
And you know, at that time I was 21, he was 38. And I was like, man, people die young.
Yeah.
Like, or they die when their time it comes. And yeah. And so I chose to live with intention and doing the things that I wanted to do. And why wait? Because we don't know how much time we have. So that's, and I'm so proud of the life that I've lived, in that I haven't ever stayed in a job that didn't serve me.
Yeah. Well, that's awesome because so many people do find themselves going down pathways that they're not happy about. That, as you say, does not necessarily serve them. And you did that. You were in the worm composting business for a while, and then we'll unpack that more in a bit because I want to find out more about that. But somewhere along the line, you pivoted out of that into something called laughter yoga. So,
Yes.
define that for us, for our audience. Just what is laughter yoga, and what's that all about?
Laughter yoga is not jokes or comedy. It's not doing yoga and laughing. It's laughing as a cardiovascular workout. It's or exercise. When we're laughing, we're secreting all of the happy hormones, dopamine, oxytocin, serotonin, and endorphins versus cortisol, adrenaline, epinephrine, the stress chemicals. When we're laughing, when we're in joy, we're not in stress. We're not in both at the same time.
Yeah.
And I think it helps us deal with whatever it is that whatever it is that we have going on. And I was introduced to laughter yoga 10 years into my worm business. I was selling worms by the pound for indoor composting. I'm located in Canada, just north of Toronto.
Okay.
And in 2002, our landfill closed. It filled up, and we started to export our garbage to the US.
Okay.
And I had a solution. It kind of made me sick that we were so irresponsible with our waste that we were just like shipping it away. And that's what we do with our garbage every week. We put it at the curb. The magic truck comes along and takes it away.
Right.
It's not our problem anymore, but it is because there is no away.
So you had this here, and so it sounds like you're trying to deal with situations in life in kind of a organic way, if you will, or a intrinsic way, rather than some sort of external means, whatever it would be, and you're trying to do that. So I know you said in one of our conversations that laughter yoga changed everything for you personally. Tell me more about that. Is that true? And if so, how? How did that change everything for you?
It really did. Oh my gosh, I've become more resilient. I don't take things so personal. So 10 years into my worm mission, I had heard, ew, worms in the house hundreds of times.
Right.
Right? I was not listening. I was like, la, 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 no, you need this. People don't buy what they need. They buy what they want. And they didn't want what I was flogging.
Okay.
And I thought it was so important, that we look after the soil, that we look after our trash, that we be responsible citizens of this beautiful planet that we have. So when people were saying, ooh, before I was introduced to laughter yoga, I think I took it personal, like, ooh, something about me was offensive.
Oh, right.
And then laughter yoga made me realize, oh, they're just not ready. This is not my stuff. It's theirs. They're not ready for what I'm offering. That's okay. And it also improved my relationship with myself and with my husband. I say he was laughter hesitant for about 10 years.
I love that phrase, laughter hesitant. I haven't heard. That's a new one on me, Cathy. I like it.
Before 2020, I was doing Skype laughter, and it was for laughter professionals, not video, just audio. It was 20 minutes every morning. When I was doing my Skype laughter, I would be doing emails and just laughing. So it was laughter professionals just practicing their craft.
Right.
And my husband would leave the room, and I was thinking, why is he leaving? Like, laughter's the best medicine.
Yeah.
Why doesn't he just stay and laugh? He's kind of got a different story about what happened, but I in 2022, I do teach laughter leaders. In 2022, I had a training coming up. We were walking in the forest, and I said, I have a training next week, and I only have one student, and they're paid, so I guess we're going ahead. And he said, maybe I'll take the training.
Okay. So,
and there was never any talk of that.
Wow. So you were surprised by that. Okay. So
I was shocked.
He took the training with this other person, and it was a good thing?
It was great. So that was 2022. I have an online laughter club on Tuesday mornings, 5.5 years. And now he co-leads with me.
Awesome.
So it's helped him. Sorry to interrupt. The laughter has helped him as well. He's a creative. He's an introvert creative. Right. So the laughter has allowed him to shine, to come out. He needs to when on Tuesday mornings when we first started, I would say, "Hey, it's Tuesday. Can I call on you to lead part of the club?" And he'd say, "No, I don't have anything. I'm not ready." Every teacher is different. I don't
Sure.
need to plan.
Sure.
I'm just like divinely guided. What
Yeah.
am I going to do today? And
Yeah.
it comes.
Well, I think it's
And I trust.
interesting, Cathy, you mentioned this club. And what we focus in on here at Cancer Company is helping people to cope, and they're using means of coping, and actual tactics and processes and things to help them to cope. But let's say cope with hope and humor. But you actually have a club that meets online that laughs. Is that right? Is that what you do?
We do.
And so, unpack that for me. What happens at Laughter Club with Cathy? What happens there?
Yeah, so as a laughter yoga teacher, I incorporate many different modalities, again, just to help people. I incorporate tap and brain gym qigong. So we start with some gentle warm-ups. It's 5.5 years I've had my club, so I get 25 to 30 little Zoom squares. And my wheelhouse is special needs and seniors.
Okay.
And you can imagine, I mean, a lot of people are dealing with many different ailments, depression, cancer diagnosis, all different modalities, right? People are struggling today.
Yeah.
So my club is a really wonderful, safe place where people can come and just be joyful for that moment, for that half an hour, just to come and play.
So just to understand how it works, and do people have a subscription of some sort, and they come into your club, and you're on a Zoom call with you, and they just follow your lesson for the day to laugh. Is that right?
Yes, and it's free.
Oh, it's
so
free?
yes,
Okay.
It's free. So there's no charge. People can come and go as they please. I do have a following, but it's not the same 25 or 30 people every week.
Okay. I was going to ask you had the long-term people attending, it sounded like, as well.
It's wonderful. It's their new addiction.
Well, and if you're going to have an addiction, you might as well have one to laugh. And you've talked to, I know you heard you say something effective. This is one of the ways that you help people move out of stress into joy. And so tell me about that. How have you seen that manifest itself in your club?
Yeah. So we start with some gentle warm-ups. Some gentle movements, some clapping, some laughing, some deep breathing. The yoga part of laughter yoga is the practice of the laughter and the deep diaphragmatic breathing. Mm-hmm. And then I incorporate these other modalities, the tapping. So we tap on 4 spots: stomach meridian, which is here, kidney, thymus, and spleen. And thymus is very important because when we're experiencing cancer, well, everybody, our thymus starts to shrink as we age, as we hit
And just for
puberty.
our listening audience, those who might be watching, thymus, you're basically tapping your chest area. Is that right?
Correct. Right in the center of your chest, right on your sternum. Yeah. And the thymus is important for cancer folks, for everybody, but for folks with cancer, that's where the T cells go to mature. The T cells are the cancer fighting agents. So if we're tapping on our thymus, I'm tapping on my chest, that's stimulating our thymus. And that helps those T cells to get activated, and they will go out and fight off that cancer, hopefully. Yeah. And cancer, when we're laughing or when we're under stress, let's say when we're under stress, blood lymph oxygen leaves our frontal lobe and goes into our muscles so we can escape, even if we're escaping from our mind. So when we're laughing, we don't have to think, breathe in, breathe out. We're laughing, ha, 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 we're exhaling. So in order to keep on ha-haing, we have to take a beautiful inhale so we can continue laughing. Oxygen cannot survive cancer cannot survive in an oxygen-rich body. It's scientifically proven.
Wow. Okay.
Dr. Otto Warburg won a Nobel Peace Prize, and I can't remember the year, for his work with oxygen in the body and his cancer research.
Wow. Awesome. I know you even mentioned you worked with a woman dealing with ovarian cancer and how she's had, some good results of this.
Yes, we laugh together every day, which, when you're struggling with anything, cancer, any kind of ailment, depression, anything, even like some kind of trauma, it's really hard to feel joy because
Yeah.
you're thinking about your ailment, you're
Sure.
ruminating about these things. So we come every day, she calls me, and we laugh.
Oh, in her case, she's not only a part of the club, you have an ongoing relationship with her. It sounds like that's good.
That's correct. Yes, we connect every day by phone, and we laugh. So I answer the phone when she calls, and I don't say hello. I just start laughing.
You just have you have your own language, as it were, don't you? You kind of have your laugh language. I love one of the things we talked about before, Cathy, is you mentioned about how, and we've talked about several things here about the the physiological aspects of laughter, oxygen, and so on. One of the things you mentioned to me was the acronym DOSE, D-O-S-E. I just was kind of interested in that, or at least maybe I saw it on your website or something like that. Could you unpack that for our audience, DOSE?
Yes, right. Laughter's the best medicine. And I say, have you had your daily dose?
Right.
So dopamine, oxytocin, serotonin, and endorphins. These are the love drugs. That works out to dose.
Right.
Those are the happy hormones, the love drugs. And we are in charge of our own pharma, Brad. It's so wonderful that we can excrete these wonderful happy hormones versus cortisol, adrenaline, epinephrine at will. Whenever we start smiling, we start secreting happy hormones. And then we add a giggle. Ha, ha, ha.
Yeah.
Pew, pew, pew. So we're secreting more. I wonder if I'm going to wear out my dispenser.
Oh, well, there you go. There you go. I don't think that's going to happen because it's as opposed to something external, like we get out of a pharmacy bottle, you're getting something from an internal place, and that's great. And so I love that. You told a story in one of our earlier conversations about a young man who was in a wheelchair who came to your events and eventually kind of became a part of a leader in your group. Tell me a little bit about that transition there with that young man.
He was coming to my club. Adam is his name. He was coming to the club for about 6 months. And last October of 2024, I was having a training online, and I would promote it in my club. And Adam sent me a note and said, I want to take the training. And when I don't know the people in my club, they just come and I'm the one talking.
Right.
We're just laughing and playing, and then they zoom out. And so I knew he was in a wheelchair. That's what I did know.
Yeah.
So I said, okay. I said yes, because I love challenges. I didn't know what I was going to do. And Adam has taught me so much. He is an advocate for disabilities, for accessibility. He'll go to the town council whenever they have environmental issues or accessibility issues, and speaks on behalf of the community. He's the one that goes to the transit union and talks about how to treat people in wheelchairs, how to help them get on the bus or to take the subway, or how to approach people. And I've learned so much from him. It takes time for him to formulate his thoughts, and he's a deliberate speaker. So it takes time for him to say what it is he needs to say. Space is required. And I'm just so moved, and his name is Adam. And I do have a goal of training folks with special needs to be laughter yoga leaders.
Yeah.
So after Adam's training, it's a 2-day training. I was thinking about the training and how it went, and I was just kind of ruminating, like, how am I going to do this goal that I have? And I burst out laughing, and I was like, God literally sent me Adam.
There you go. Yeah.
And so he lives in a facility that is, so he lives independent. It's a facility. When the Pan Am Games were in Toronto, they built Paralympic facilities. So there's a whole neighborhood that's accessible. And my husband and I went and visited Adam, and it's wonderful. So, they have strips on the door, like not just the button to open the door, but whole strips. So you just bang into it with your wheelchair.
Oh, I see.
And boom, the door opens. Adam took us for a little tour around the neighborhood. First of all, so whenever they have Pan Am Games or Olympics, they build structures, they build,
Right.
artwork. So they had built this beautiful water structure. And Adam said, that's a fountain. I can't go through there because he's got an electric wheelchair. And I was like, who did that?
Wow.
Who would do that? And like another he was kind of pointing out kind of the flaws about the neighborhood. Like, it's so beautiful.
Well,
the stores were all accessible with the ramp. Everything was great. Yeah. But then you come to the lights and there's the button. So he said, now his hands are not functional. So he said, I come to the light, I have to wait till the light changes. Unlike in the building, they have the strip. Why couldn't they have the strip outside too?
Yeah. So it sounds like you've learned a lot from him, not only about his changes he's seen. He's taught you a lot. He also taught you a lot about infrastructure and all kinds of other things as well, advocacy and that kind of thing. It also teaches us that everybody's got something to contribute, even if societal norms might say something different. So that's awesome. So you're an interesting person, that you're really observant. I see you're very observant with people and with others and with what's going on in the world. And I know you've mentioned in our conversation that you really want to live to be 111 years old, and and not only to live a long life, but to be vibrant and contributing to society and laughing the whole way. And I know I kind of have a similar goal. When I was diagnosed with cancer myself, I said I want to live 20 plus years in order to see my very small granddaughters grow up and graduate and get married or whatever 20 years down the road. So, but I am interested kind of where the number 111 come from, and how to set in a big audacious goal like that. How does it help you kind of live with life of hope? It's a big thing we talk about here, hope and humor. So unpack it for me.
Well, 111. So lots of people are living to 100. So I wanted to
you want to go big, go big. Yeah.
That's it. And 111 is 111. It's kind of a nice number. Sure. It's nice to strive for. And what that does is gives me hope that I can get there. If you don't set the goal, you can't. How do you get there? How do you know if you've achieved it?
That's right.
And in order for me to get to 111, be vibrant, living independent, and still leading laughter, I need to be super vibrant and healthy and well and take care of myself now. I think that people often feel like they can do all kinds of things, eat what they want and do what they want, especially young folks.
Yeah.
Because you think you're infallible as a young person. And so my goal is to really take care of myself now, have the good thoughts, do the good things for my body and for community, for society, so that I can get there and still be vibrant and active.
Well, that's awesome. That's an awesome way. And I like the big audacious goal type of thing. It gives you hope. Hope, is just about envisioning a preferred future. And that's what you're talking about here. And that's great. I want to go back to the Chuckle Club or your Laughter Club for just a second here. Because I'm just thinking about this. You've got, as you mentioned, 25 or 30 people coming. What do you think keeps people, the long-term people keep coming back? What keeps them coming back? What have they told you? Have they reflected with you what keeps them coming back?
Because I'm a philomath, Brad, which means a lifelong learner. Okay. So I'm always learning. And I think one of my gifts is I attend a lot of online summits. I'm always learning. I learn something new every single day and not just like some trivial thing. I really want to learn. And my gift is learning these things and being able to present it in a way that people can understand. They don't need to attend the 5-day summit. They can, here's the Coles Notes. Here's what you need. So I'm always bringing new material to my Laughter Club. And I offer those in a way that people can incorporate them into their daily life. I want to be obsolete. I don't want to have to lead Laughter Club anymore.
Yeah. Well, that's an awesome way. It's a learn and return type of attitude. I love that. What we learn is one thing if we just kind of keep it to ourselves. That's selfish. If we share it with others, then it's part of a selfless lifestyle. And that's part of what keeps us going. I love that. I also want to go back to one other thing we've touched on a couple of times here. Cathy, it's the worm thing. It's the worm thing.
I
I
knew
just,
it.
I know you made it, that was part of your business as an entrepreneur for a while. But I want to kind of talk to you kind of maybe a little bit even whatever, philosophically, or go a little deeper in the worm thing for a second. Uh, you spend all the time working with worms and the ecological aspect, I get it, and that kind of thing. But it seems to me worms are creatures that kind of transform decay and waste into good stuff, into soil, and that's my understanding of worms. So how do you think that relates at all to what you do, helping people kind of transform whatever crud in their life might be happening, pain, adversity, whatever it would be, into stress and laughter? Do you see any parallels or corollaries there between the whole worm world and what you're doing now with laughter and laughter yoga?
Absolutely, yes. Worms are the original alchemists, first of all, right? They, like you said, they take kind of garbage or trash and turn it into black gold so we can grow more nutrient-rich food. Absolutely, there is a parallel. Before 2020, I thought I was a juggler. Like, what do you need? I have it. I thought these things were all separate. And then I realized, oh my gosh, all of my offerings are a way for a simple, sustainable, beautiful, simple life. And so what I do with the laughter is transmute people's pain, people's discomfort into joy, rather than ruminating down here with your depression or your pain. We help to transmute that through laughter and through the energy modalities into something lighter. Laughter is simply an energy, as is depression and frustration
Yeah.
and anxiety.
Right.
It's just a frequency. So if we can laugh and feel good, what I didn't say was that laughter is not about jokes or comedy. It's just laughing. So we can, the body doesn't know the difference between real and simulated laughter. Oh, the brain does, the ego does, for sure.
Right.
Right. If you're laughing and your brain's like, what is happening here? I don't know why you're laughing. You look ridiculous. Stop it. You're in your head. I invite people to get out of their head. And, for people that come for the first time and they've never experienced laughter yoga, a good laughter yoga teacher will say, allow yourself permission to play.
Permission to play. Very good.
Permission to play.
That's awesome for you to share that there. And so let's just kind of bring around to this. Let's just say that somebody wants to kind of learn more about you, about what you offer and what happens at the Laughter Club. And I know you got a lot of things in your website regarding, opportunities and training and so on. So tell people how they can find you and also what kind of things they might find that you offer that might be helpful to them.
Yeah. So my website is cathysclub.com, Cathy with a C. You can sign up for my free laughter club. It's every Tuesday, 9:30 a.m. Eastern, 30 minutes of super fun self-care, tapping, brain gym, qigong. Just come and play. It's so fun, and connect with other people. And I also have a video series called Fun Fab Fridays. I think this Friday will be like episode 247. That's a lot of Fridays, over 4 years, almost 5 years of Fridays. And so those are just shorts for fun. They're just to help people get out of themselves just for a few minutes. So there's that. They can go and check that out. And I'm also a laughter yoga teacher. So I teach leaders. It's a 2-day training online or in person. I do both. Yeah. And, people might want to take the training, not to lead Laughter Club, but just to learn the history of laughter and why do it. What are the benefits? Yeah. It's scientifically proven.
Several opportunities there. Well, one more thing, then I'll let you get on with your day here. Let's just say someone is listening to our podcast here today, and they're having a little bit of a tough time. Maybe they've got a bad diagnosis. Maybe they've had some other bad thing in their life, relationship-wise, or losing a job, or, situation in the war, or politics, what have you, and they're having a tough time. But they want to start to do something practical to be helpful in their life. So what was one word of encouragement or direction or coping methodology you might bring to a person that they could apply maybe even today, to their life?
Well, I have a couple of things. I would say ask for help, first of all, because we don't know. It's no for sure unless we ask. And people don't know. People do want to help us, but they don't know what we need. Like if you need someone to help you cook some meals or clean or do some shopping for you, if you're unable to do that, ask for help. And the second one is without awareness, action is impossible. So take action for yourself. Take action to feel better. Reach out to people, and if you're really struggling mentally, I would say if you're able to go online, there are laughter clubs around the world. This is a global movement. It's the 31st anniversary of laughter yoga, and there are clubs in over 120 countries. I would say do your best to not stay in the stress stew where we're in this perpetual state of stress, and we've normalized stress. Mm-hmm. And I really want us to normalize joy because it is our birthright. Yes. Even when we're struggling, there's things that we can find. So here's 5 things. I said there was 2. 5 things. We can smile. As soon as we smile, we start secreting the love drug. So that makes us feel better just by smiling. Add a little giggle, or feel a little better. Start singing. It might seem counterintuitive. Put on your favorite song and start dancing around, singing and dancing. And the final piece is gratitude. Gratitude begets more gratitude. And it's like, oh, what have I got to be grateful for? Maybe you have a house, or you have a comfy bed. Someone brought you a cup of tea. Whatever it is, start small. And those things of gratitude, like start a gratitude journal or just saying out loud what you're grateful for, because that really does help us to feel better.
I love what you shared, some really practical things to do. We love to apply those in what we do. We talk about, coping. We'd like to talk being a coping organism, not just coping mechanisms, how we can kind of integrate that to who we are. I love that. So get out your stress stew and get on to joyful living. And one of the places you can do that is at cathysclub.com. Her name is Cathy Nesbitt, a health and wellness advocate and a laughter yoga teacher. She's been our guest here today on Cancer and Comedy. Thank you for being our guest, Cathy.
Thank you, Brad. I appreciate it.